I'm Caleb Brooks with the HSAA Radio Network. We're at Media Days here at Southern Union Community College for some teams over in East Alabama. I'm joined by Valley head coach Buster Daniel. And, Coach just got done talking to a couple of your players last season. A good year for you guys. I mean, 5-6. You make the playoffs for the first time since 2013. And I got to see you guys play against Benjamin Russell last game of the year. And one of the things that just impressed me with you guys is the physicality that you guys brought, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Talk a little bit about last year and how you felt about really getting this program going back into the right direction.
Yeah, last year was a great year. Let's say good year, because it's not great unless you win it all, but it was a good year. What these kids have been through over the last 5-6 years, it was good to get back in the playoffs. And you talk about the physicality of the thing. And, used to years ago when you go play Valley, that was the one thing that people always talked about. You may beat them, but you knew you were in a game. You knew you were going to get hit. And that's what we're trying to get back to. We're trying to be physical with them. We talk physicality. We talk about being physical every game, every snap. That's what we're getting back to. And if you do that, football is a physical game. We all know that. If you get back to doing that, things will be right for you.
Yeah, and I was talking to some of those guys, and they said that they feel like what last season did was it gave a lot of players on your team hope, I guess, in a way, and it really showed them that if you do put in the work and you do go do the little things, that you can win some football games and ultimately make the playoffs the way that you did. Have you kind of seen that with your team this year, that last year's success has kind of carried over?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, they came in day one ready to go to work. First year I was there, it was kind of, they were trying to get used to me, and, I'm not sure if we're going to do it this way, and the next year was even better. But going into the third year, these guys have seen the writing on the wall. They've seen what success is. So they've bought in, and they're going to work, and they're trying to get back to the playoffs and even go further this year.
Yeah, that's another thing that they even brought up, is that they've just gone through so many coaches, and you've kind of finally kind of come in and you've stayed in a spot now going into year 3. Have you seen them kind of respond to you in a way now that you've been around and kind of showed them that you're here to stick around?
Absolutely, yeah. Stability is important to kids. They have a real trust factor. If kids don't trust you, man, they're not going to play. They're not going to give you everything they got. Even after the first year, I had a kid come up to me and say, "Coach, are you leaving?" That's just what they've been used to. They've seen it. And it's no fault of any coach that's been there. It just didn't work out for them. So the kids ask me if I'm leaving. Now this going to my third year, I think they understand I'm not going anywhere right now, and they're buying into what we're selling. So things are getting good there, and it's going to be really good this year.
Yeah, you brought up that you guys are kind of in a unique situation that you don't see often. Your starting quarterback from last season just decided he didn't want to play football anymore. So how tough is that going to be to now try to replace him and find who your quarterback's going to be going into the season?
Well, replace anybody's tough. But when it's your starting quarterback's been running your offense for 2 years, and now he comes to be a senior year and decides not to play, that's really tough. But like I said, we've got 2 kids battling for the job that's really doing a good job. They're learning. You learn something every day. I learn every day, about these kids or something else about football. But we got 2 guys that's fighting for the job that's going to do a good job, whoever it is. And, the one that's not playing quarterback, they're going to play another position. Will Kennedy was a receiver last year. So, he's begging to go catch balls now. If he's not behind the center, he wants to go out there and play receiver. So they're both great kids. They can play somewhere else if they need to. But I think either one of them's going to do a great job for us.
I think that, we brought up defense, and you guys, I thought last year had a really good year on defense for the most part, but I thought that there was times where offensively you struggled a little bit. So, what are you guys doing going into this year to kind of try to fix that and make sure that you don't have those struggles this season?
Well, again, that was our second year last year of the offense, and I call it offense for dummies. It's not real hard if I can learn it, but kids still something new to them. They were in the eye in the spring before I got there, in the summer. So anytime you change things, there's a learning curve there. Kids got to learn something else. They're a little slower. If they're not real sure about what they're doing, they're going to play slow. So they're getting it now. They're understanding the offense. They're understanding what we want. So I'm looking for things to be better this year.
Where have you felt like your program has grown the most since you took over in year 1 to now where you guys are at now?
Well, the biggest thing is the trust factor, like I talked about a while ago. They trust me now. They're buying into what I'm saying. But the guys they're working extremely hard, and they're doing the little things. We go out there and start running sprints. If they're touching the line, we jump on them, make them back up. That's little things. They don't understand that little things make a big difference, and they're starting to learn that now.
Yeah, and the little things can add up, and they can turn into wins and losses. You know, you guys lost a couple close games a year ago, and the little things can help. Is that one of the things that you're really preaching to this team this year, is knowing that there's a couple games where you could have even had a better record a year ago if you're able to come out on top, and now this year if you're able to do those things, that's possible.
Absolutely. Little things mean a lot. You know, I went in day one in off season telling these guys that we were beat last year by discipline. You know, so we had to really step up our discipline this year. And that's going back to what I was just saying a while ago. We started running a sprint, they're touching the line. You're not doing things the right way. You know, we had games last year we didn't have all our players on the field, and it was a discipline issue. It wasn't bad. They didn't do anything extremely bad, but it was discipline. They got in trouble, so they couldn't play. So I went in day one explaining to them that that's what got us beat last year. A lot of those games was discipline, and we got to be better at that.
You know, you guys got beat by Briarwood to end the season last year, but how much do you feel like the experience of playing a good team like that and then having the success that you guys ended up having against, I mean, nobody else scored 28 points against them all year. Right. How much do you think that's going to help this team confidence-wise?
Well, it's going to help them a lot. And, you know, they talk about that game, and they talk about what could have been, you know, and we've discussed it with them. But going into that kind of atmosphere, you know, and playing at their field on a Friday night in playoffs, man, it's just huge. It's huge for experience. It's huge for confidence. These guys have been through it now. They want more. They're hungry for it, so they're actually working for it now.
You know, one of the things that you brought up in there, Dear Media Days, you're placing a lot of seniors from last year's team, and you know, Valley's not used to losing the amount that you guys lost last year. But how difficult is that going to be for you guys to replace them? You know, these guys feel like while they've lost a lot, they think that the leadership has maybe gotten even better for this year's team. But how tough is it going to be to replace that group last year that, you know, really helped turn things in the right direction?
Yeah, the leadership we talk about over and over again, but it's a lot better. You can't replace all those guys. You know, there's a lot of them out there that were starters. Some play both sides of the ball. But we got guys I think can fill the shoes pretty good. They're stepping up and they're doing the things the right way. And that's all we can ask out of them, you know. You can never replace guys that leave you. You know, you wish you could keep them every year, but you can't. But these guys are doing a good job, and they're filling the roles pretty good. And like I said, we don't have any starters right now. I tell our guys every day, 22 jobs are open. And, you know, we got all special teams open. If you want to play, there's somewhere for you to play if you work hard. And these guys are doing that. Even the young ones. You know, we're going to start 2 sophomores at defensive end this year. You know, they're good players, and they deserve to play. You know, but I don't tell them that yet. They still got to work for the starting position.
So, you know, considering everything, I mean, what would you set as the expectation for this team this year and the goal for you guys to try to reach to? Just
be the best they can be. You know, like again, we don't talk about wins and losses. You know, in our mind we think that, but you start focusing on wins and losses. You know, you lose the big picture of things. You know, we're trying to teach these kids how to be good young men. You know, how to do things the right way, how to be on time. You know, I stress all the time about being on time. Guys, you're gonna have a job one day. You know, if you're late 3 days a week, or if you don't show up a day, you're gonna have a job. Then you can't provide for your family. So we're teaching things like that. I would rather have a guy down the road 5 years that is a good person in society, that is a good dad, is a good husband. That's when you know you're succeeding. You know, wins and losses, I'm never going to be in the Hall of Fame. I've just started being a head coach. I'm not worried about all that. I want to make good young men out of these guys I'm coaching, and that's what it's all about.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time to join me today.
Thank you. I appreciate
Good luck to you guys this year. You know, we look forward to seeing if you guys can continue to, you know, get this thing going in the right direction and what you guys are able to do this year.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.